Welcome back, everybody, to CWRL's Fight Night at the Freedom Factory. We just had an interesting round one where Boogity Racing, despite needing no laps of their checker car or winning the heat race with their checker car, scored 37 points over the Miller Timers in a very poor CWRL debut. And they will be going home with just 10 points on the evening. Now we are getting set up with the Candymen taking on the Smokehouse in their round one matchup. Smokehouse looking to make gains from their 8th spot in points. They have 264 points coming into the evening. And the Candymen, the second place points, looking to make gains on Boogity Racing, as they are about 100, well, almost 250 points back on them now. So looking for another good performance out of them. As you can see, getting the roster all set up here, and conveniently those two teams are paired up right next to each other there. We have the lineup set, the clock is set, the track is set, no more errors, fingers crossed. And we will see which one of these teams will go on to face Boogity Racing. It could be another rematch here between Boogity Racing and the Candymen. That's always an interesting show to see. But it could also be the Smokehouse moving on. Interestingly enough, this is the exact same matchup we had from the Rumble at the Rock, so this is a bit of a rematch here between the Smokehouse
Drivers,
and the Candymen.
to your cars.
As you can see here, the checker car for the Candymen starting on the front row. And I just picked the wrong checker car. Hold on. Oops. We gotta fix that. Human error. That can happen too. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Alright, let's try this again. Clock set. Track set. Roster set. Are you set? I think I'm set. Let's get into this round one, match 2 action for CWRL's Fight Night at the Freedom Factory.
Drivers,
lightning fast
to your
qualifying.
cars.
You can see that the checker car for the Smokehouse and the wrecker car for the Smokehouse are occupying the front row, with the checker and wrecker car for the Candymen on the second row. Let's get into this round 2 matchup. Clock is set.
Drivers,
I'm sure people are still waiting. I'm not being a patient person either tonight. After all the technical errors, I want to get through this event for you folks. With as few errors as possible. We can prevent it. Pace car is off, green flag is out, clock is on, and we are underway here for this second matchup of round 1. You can see that the Candymen, their checker car, making a battle for the lead here on the Smokehouse as they come out of turn 3 and 4. The Candymen are going to lead this first lap and 4 points. And you can see we got Calamity here coming up in turn 1 and 2 as 2 of the cars just went right through the middle of the speedway, running up into turns 1 and 2 and taking out a lot of traffic. You can see that checker car for the Candymen just lost their lead to the Smokehouse, with the Smokehouse leading that lap and getting that point. This leaves the board at even. Both of these teams now have a point apiece as the laps are now getting added on. We are working on lap 4. The Smokehouse now pulling away, adding points to their tally as we continue to lead laps. You can see traffic jam cars are not too far ahead of them at this point with all that calamity that slowed them down. It looks like we are going to be getting into lap traffic much sooner than expected. See that the traffic jammers here are all in the back. We got 1 through 4 checker and record cars for each team respectively, as the checker car for the Smokehouse continues to show the way, with the checker car from the Candymen beginning to fall back a little bit. He has that record car from the Smokehouse right on his tail, looking to seize the opportunity and take that second position. That would give them a solid wingman situation where he'd be able to play defense and let that checker car continue to run smoothly and without feeling completely rushed or under pressure from the opponent. See that record car for the Candyman got up into the wall there, lost a lot of ground to the leaders. Is now about a full straightaway behind the checker car for the Smokehouse at this time. We are 7:45 remaining here in this first round matchup between the Smokehouse and the Candymen. The Smokehouse showing the way, leading laps and scoring points with their checker car out front, coming up onto some lap traffic. You can see that traffic jammer here for the Smokehouse coming into view. We got a couple of them here. So these are points that the Candymen could capitalize on if they're able to close the distance here between them and the leaders. And one of the traffic jammers just wrecked himself and has become victim to the checker car for the Candymen. That is 3 more points for the Candymen as they see the point total between the Candymen and the Smokehouse widen with every lap that the Smokehouse continues to lead. Smokehouse coming out of turn 4, crossing the start-finish line, coming up on another traffic jammer here. You see all 3 traffic jammers for Candymen in close proximity to one another, racing each other hard, as one of them just got turned and just got caught up in traffic. You can see that they have become prey to the Smokehouse. Take a look and see where the checker car for the Smokehouse and the Candymen are. You can see that the record car for the Smokehouse has just taken the second spot over. Excuse me, I should say. See the record car for the Candymen in a distant 4th here, as the checker car for the Smokehouse continues to lead the way. We have 5:45 remaining here in this first round matchup. The Smokehouse putting on a clinic right now with their checkers car out front. But he gets taken out by the Candyman's traffic jammer there. See, he will recover to at least 3rd place in the lineup, with the record car for the Candyman right on his bumper now. You can see the checkers car here for the Candyman in 2nd spot, with the record car for the Smokehouse now in the lead. The record car now has the daunting task of preventing the Candyman from scoring points. He comes out of turns 3 and 4 loose. Loose as a goose here. Candyman trying to reassume the lead with 4:45 remaining. Smokehouse led a number of laps. And now on complete and total defense here, as one of the traffic jammers is playing themselves as a pick. And now the gap is widened once again between the record car of the Smokehouse and the checker car of the Candymen. These traffic jammers have definitely played quite a bit of a spoiling factor here, as the Smokehouse now on defense, looking to prevent the Candymen from scoring any more points, trying to keep that lead intact. As you can see now, the checkers car for the Smokehouse is now in sight of the leader, getting ready to be put a lap down. And there's a checker car for the Candymen still in second spot. This means that there could be 15 points given up here by the Smokehouse and given to the Candymen. We're going to continue to see how this matchup unfolds. We have 3:30 remaining as the wrecker car for the Smokehouse is about to put his checker counterpart a lap down here. You can see that the checker car for the Candymen coming up onto this traffic jammer car, looking to score 3 more points for his team. Working the inside line, making the pass. And now setting his sights on the checker car for the Smokehouse, who is up in the wall just recently. And he's been taken out yet again by a traffic jammer. More bad luck ensues for the Smokehouse. As we come down to 2.5 minutes remaining, the checker car for the Smokehouse has been lapped by the Candymen. That is 15 valuable points for the Candymen as we come down to 2.5 minutes remaining here in this first round matchup. The points have been shaken up quite a bit. It's going to be very interesting to tabulate it all. So bear with me as I do that, and as we do that at the conclusion of this round, you can see that the checker car for the Candymen trying to put a lap down one of his counterparts and trying to make the pass for second spot on his wrecker counterpart as he works the inside line here and completes that pass. Now setting his sights back on the leaders, who are on frantic defense after their checker car was put down a lap. You can see here that the checker car trying to pass this traffic jammer for position. As he has fallen a ways back from his opponent's checker car, who has put him a lap down, thus scoring 15 points for the Candymen. We are down to 1.5 minutes remaining with the Smokehouse wrecker car still playing defense for the team. And the checker car in a distant second, probably about straight away down to the leader now. As you can see, the wrecker car for the Candyman coming back, challenging for second, and completes the pass as we come out of turn 2. And you can see that the checker car for the Smokehouse coming back up onto the checker car for the Candymen. Going to see if he can get those 15 points back for his team. So we are down to 40 seconds remaining. The wrecker car for the Smokehouse still showing the way. We are down to the final 30 seconds here. Time will expire on the next lap, so it is officially 2 to go at the line as the Smokehouse comes out of turn 4 to complete that lap. Got 2 to go. Time has now expired. Going to shift to copter view here. As you can see, the wrecker car for the Smokehouse coming out of turns 3 and 4 to be greeted by the white flag, hoping that they scored enough points from leading laps. But it is very likely they did not score enough points from lapping traffic. As you can see, the field is now officially frozen. And we'll see if the checker car has indeed kept the Smokehouse checker car a lap down. That is 15 points for the Candymen. But they were not able to put that Smokehouse traffic jammer a second lap down. So the Candymen will come out of this round 1 point for leading a lap, and then you have 15 points for lapping that checker car for the Smokehouse. That's 16 points, and then 9 more points for 25 points. You can tell that the checker car for for the Smokehouse did not lap anybody, so there is no points for that. However, they did score points for leading laps, so we will go back to the point when they were the leader, see how many points they were able to actually lead here real quick. And this is not looking good for them. They only scored 16 points for leading laps. So, in what looks like to be an upset here, the Candymen, by virtue of putting the checker car for the Smokehouse a lap down, actually scored enough points to advance on to the next round to take on Boogity Boogity Racing. Despite not winning the heat race and only leading 1 lap, the Candymen can and did pull it off here going into round 2. And they only have 12 points between them and Boogity Boogity Racing going into that round. That is absolutely astounding, and what a twist of events here at Fight Night, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that matchup complete, coming up we have the Intimidators taking on Hello Newman in their first round matchup, and yet another rematch that we have seen before. Should be interesting to see which one of them comes out on top. Stay with us here at CWRL Fight Night at the Freedom Factory.